Hey, it's Vicky, and today I'm here to share my reading plans for July. July is kind of an exciting month for me, personally and bookishly, because in July we have two birthdays in the house. Austin's birthday is on the 11th and Hunter's is on the 18th, so we have lots of birthday celebrations to do. Of course, we have the 4th of July holiday, which is always a good time. We have a couple of like little mini sort of vacays planned in the month, so it's gonna be busy, but it's gonna be like a good busy. And then as far as like bookish plans, I am taking part in Summerween, which is a readathon that runs from July 7th through the 13th, and it is hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads. Yeah, I'm really excited to take part in this one. I'm gonna be probably vlogging for that readathon, and I'm gonna have like a whole separate TBR for that. So today I'm just talking about my other reading plans for July, because it should be a fun time, and I will link the info for Summerween down below if you're interested in taking part, so you can get all the details, because there's like prompts and stuff, and yeah, it should be fun. So because I'm doing Summerween, and because I feel like lately I've been reading a lot of like horror and like dark stuff, I really wanted to, in July, besides Summerween, obviously, try to read things that were not that. But of course, there is one that I am going to be reading outside of the readathon that is an anticipated release, so I have to read it in July. So I'm going to be reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager. And this one is Riley Sager's newest book. It just came out in June. And this one is about a woman who goes to I want to say she's like a caregiver of some sort for this elderly woman who lives alone in this big house, and you can kind of see on the cover, it's like this big house out in the middle of nowhere. And this elderly woman was known in the area as almost like a Lizzie Borden type of person. Years prior, in her youth, her family was killed, murdered, slaughtered, and everybody thought she did it. But for whatever reason, she was never, you know, put on trial or any of that stuff. But she's still kind of known in the area as being this person who killed her family. And now this woman is there to take care of her in her elder years, and I'm assuming she's gonna find out what really happened to this woman's family and if she really killed them and why and all that good stuff. So it should be fun. Riley Sager's books I typically enjoy, and so I am gonna definitely be checking this one out in July. And then the other sort of like horror thriller, like darker sort of book I'm gonna read in July, outside of Summerween, is one that I had meant to read in June and just didn't get to, and that is Black House by Stephen King and Peter Straub. And this is the sequel to The Talisman that they also co-wrote together. And The Talisman dealt with a young boy named Jack who basically was on this quest that included him basically going into a parallel world. And he's on this quest to save his mother, who is really ill. And it was just a really cool book because, like I said, he was kind of hopping back and forth between like our world and this parallel world, and the sorts of things he came across and the different characters he met and stuff. It was really cool. In this one, Jack is a grown man, and he doesn't really remember the events, or like he doesn't really remember in his childhood when he went to this parallel world, but it sounds like for some reason he has to go back. And so it sounds kind of cool. I'm interested to see, you know, what they're going to do with that, and kind of just revisiting that story. I think it'll be cool. Hopefully I'll get to this one on audio this month. So then the rest of the books in July that I want to read are not thrillers or horror, because like I said, I kind of want to take a step back from those for just a second, because I feel like I've been reading a lot of that lately, and I just need a change. So the first one is definitely completely different from horror thrillers, and it's also going to fulfill the buzzword reading challenge for me for this month, because the buzzword is weather words, and this is perfect. I'm going to be reading Sunny by Jason Reynolds, and this is the third book in the track series, and the track series is about this track team, and every book centers on a different character or a different member of the track team. So the first book was called Ghost, the second book was called Patina, and now this one's called Sunny. And then this one, Sunny, he's one of the really strong runners on the track team. And the thing about him though is even though he's good at running and he always like wants to win and do well, he actually doesn't really like running that much. He actually really likes dancing. So that right away really makes me super interested in this one because obviously like I love books about dance and I just love that Sunny loves dancing, and so I want to, you know, check this one out, see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see like if Ghost and Patina make appearances in this book. I'm sure they will, and yeah, I'm excited for this one. The next book I want to read in July was one that I chose from my book haul revisit that I did in June, and I'm going to be reading On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. And this one is I want to say it's a coming of age type story that is told through a letter that a young man is writing to his mother, and it's all about him growing up with her. And I believe I don't know if he was born in Vietnam, so if they both came from Vietnam, or if his mother came to America from Vietnam and then had him, I'm not sure. But anyways, they kind of grew up with, you know, he grew up with just his mother, who was a Vietnamese immigrant, and basically about what that life was like. And I've heard that this book has amazing writing, just stunning, and I'm sure it's gonna have coming of age elements. That's what it seems like to me. That's what initially sort of drew me to this book. And I'm sure it's also going to examine things like class and race. I'm really excited to check this one out. I think it's gonna be great. And then the last book that I want to read in July is one I've kind of been saving for the summertime because I just feel like it's a summertime book. I don't know why, but it's part of my Revisit Remix project, which is a project I started this year where I am trying to read books that I've had on my TBR shelf for 5 years or more. So this is a book that I hauled back in 2018 and have not read yet. And so part of this project is that if I don't read these books, I have to unhaul them at the end of the year. So I have read 2 of the 4 because I had 4 that I put on my list. And so this will be the 3rd one. And it's a nonfiction book called The Soul of an Octopus, and it's by Cy Montgomery. And this is a nonfiction book, like I said, about octopuses, which I think I've said in other videos where I've talked about this book, is not typically a nonfiction that I would typically pick up. I usually like to read nonfiction like memoirs or that deal with like historical events or, you know, basically non-animal topics, non-nature, you know. I don't normally gravitate towards that sort of nonfiction, but this I have just heard amazing things about. And I've heard that it will like just make you obsessed with octopuses. It will make you want to own an octopus. It's just fascinating. And yeah, I want to know more about this amazing creature. All right, guys, so those are my reading plans for July. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing my Summerween TBR probably within the vlog that I'm going to do, because I am planning to vlog that week for that week. So yeah, watch out for that. That'll be coming. And yeah, let me know what you're planning to read in July. Are there any great summer reads that you're trying to check out or anything like that? I would love to know. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great month, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.